What's up? So in this video, I'm gonna talk about why women, like most women, are very ruthless when it comes to relationships and breakups in general. Now I've experienced this a lot of times. I've even seen and witnessed this, but a lot of women, for some reason, a lot of men complain that like women seem to move on very quickly or very like easily. Now within my research and experiences, I feel like part of it, well, there's so many factors that go into it because maybe the male was in the wrong. Maybe they're abusive, so that makes it easier for the female to detach. That's one way. But another way also is that I feel like most females, they're very emotionally unavailable and they're very emotionally closed off. And I feel like a lot of females are like that. So when females, if you're dealing with a female that's very emotionally closed off and very emotionally unavailable, what that happens is that like it's gonna be extremely easy for them to move on, but they haven't really moved on from you per se. It's more so that they have a huge disconnect with themselves. That's why they're very emotionally unavailable. So what makes you think they're able to give you clarity and give you accountability when they themselves can't give themselves that same in return because they're very emotionally disconnected. They're not connected to themselves. It may seem like it because they use their work or their career or their social media or wherever that's external. They use that to focus on that instead of focusing on themselves and their healing work. That's why they're so easy to move on. And it's easy to spot that. I could tell because I've attracted a lot of females that are very emotionally unavailable based on my upbringing and based on what the universe or God wanted me to experience in this lifetime, such as like trauma and having a pre-anxious, having an anxious, occupied attachment style and stuff like that. It is what it is. So but like I can see in their eyes, like if you look at their eyes look very cold hearted, like their eyes look very pitch black. Like it's hard to explain. Their eyes look very cold, like you see a lot of sadness in their eyes in a way. And but yet their external, like what they're doing doesn't match up with how they look in their eyes. I mean it's hard to explain, but you could tell you just see coldness, like a blank in their eyes. You could tell they're very emotionally closed off and they're very cold hearted pretty much. Now, obviously, that deals with their upbringing. So I feel like that's why a lot of females, it's easy for them to move on like that. But also, like, I feel like a lot of females, it's easy for them to move on because they have so many options. Women, they do have easier lives than men because women, they don't have to work as hard or they don't have to do as much. Obviously, they have a physical limitation, but so because females, they do have a harder way because they're not as physically gifted as us men, so they can't do as much stuff or they can't defend themselves like that, so they're not able to do much in life. But society definitely favors women a lot more. But also like just we just have so much simps and so much like people who want to do whatever they want to get at women. So women, they could just post, especially on the social media age, women, they could just post themselves on social media. They could put themselves out there. They can make an OnlyFans. They could be half naked on social media, and then they're gonna gain so many followers, they're gonna create a huge fan base. And when that happens, now they have so many guys that are trying to get at them, especially after a breakup. Because for some reason, a lot of women, it just seem, I don't know if it's me, but like whenever I go through a breakup with women, they seem to glow up. I don't know why. Maybe it's me. I don't know, man. But it's just like they seem to look better. Their life just evolves so much. And I'm like, how is that possible? Like, is it because they're very closed off and the only thing they can focus is external and themselves, and they're not connected to themselves emotionally? So maybe that's why they're good at it, or maybe just the nature of what God or the universe want me and my previous connections to experience, that once we break up, then they evolve and well, I had to carry all the pieces and grieve. You know what I'm saying? So it's wild, man. But yeah, their life seems to evolve. Like they gain more followers, they have a huge social media following. Their lives change. It seems to improve. I'm like, God damn, dude. I don't know, but it is hurtful. But and then they'll completely leave me out in the cold. They won't give me clarity. They won't give me no accountability. Like they don't tell me what's going on. So I'm always ending up chasing them, trying to figure out what's going on. You know, so they'll just leave you high and dry, and they'll betray you. You know, so I've experienced that a lot. That's why I'm able to make videos about it and in the future as well because I've experienced it and I've seen it in my own eyes. So, but yeah, but women, they have so much options. They could just post themselves on social media. They don't even have to be half naked. They can just post themselves, their face and their body, a lot, be consistent, and they'll gain a huge following and so many people, and then they're able to move on just like that. Imagine you as a guy. Yes, you could be, as a guy, you could be handsome, you could be in good shape, you could work out a lot and stuff like that. You could have good intelligence, but women, it's easier for women to attract dating partners compared to men because basically because of the society and social media, and we have so many simps, and naturally women, um they lack communication skills, and they have very low self-esteem. So that's why women, they don't seem to shoot their shot first, or they can't get at men. Obviously societal programming, or how the male and female dating is supposed to work, is that obviously the guy, they're supposed to make the first move, which I agree and I get it. But at the same time, whenever I go out, I could just observe and notice that most females, they lack a lot of communication skills, and they have low self-esteem. They're very insecure. That's why a lot of females, they're very narcissistic, or they always post a lot on social media. They have that fake self-love, that fake confidence that I could kind of see through their bullshit in a way. But I don't know why. Maybe it's society, who knows. But and it's not just women, it's both ways, but mostly women. So it is what it is, though. But anyways, yeah, because society, it favors women a lot, a lot. But yeah, so that's why women are able to move on from relationships so quick. I don't know why I'm stuttering. But also women, um, and I feel like women knows this. They know that they could get any man because most guys are very thirsty and are simps. So women will kind of strategize on how they could put themselves out there in the social media market, or even in person as well too, to attract any type of guy they want. Maybe they can't attract the guy they really want, but they could definitely attract any type of guy where they could date and live a very comfortable life, pretty much. So that's all I gotta say. Have a good one. Peace.